Hi, this is Lisa DeYoung, Board Secretary. I am coming to you tonight on behalf of the entire board, Dennis Lockwood, Sandra Erickson, Chuck Meacham, and Roger Denton. We've been here all week and we thought it might be fun to share with you a little bit of a recap of some of the things that we have talked about this week, our discussions. We have been in meetings most of the week. We had our official board meeting on Wednesday, and then we concluded our week with an owners meeting on Thursday afternoon. So I wanted to give you a few highlights of what we talked about during our meeting yesterday. Dennis Lockwood opened up the meeting and pretty much introduced everybody, and then turned the meeting over to Chuck Meacham, who is our treasurer, and he gave us a financial report. So Chuck shared the good news of the fact that we are running favorable to our budget this year, to the tune of $96,000, and that's through 8 months of the year. Revenues are strong at the restaurant, and we're excited about that. Some of the challenges that Chuck shared is that we are facing a lot of increased costs. We're also facing some mandates from the government with taxes and wages that are also kind of eating into some of our profits. And then the last thing that Chuck shared as a little bit of a concern is that our delinquency rate is climbing. So those are the highlights from the financial report. Chuck also shared about our maintenance fees and the discussion that we had at our September board meeting with regards to raising the maintenance fees. And he really wanted everyone to know that we struggled with that a lot. Each of us really weighed all the options as to whether or not we needed to raise the maintenance fees. But at the end of the day, based on all the factors that we are seeing that are ahead of us, we felt like it was necessary to raise the fees, and we did that 5%. Last year in 2022, there was not a raise, and there was an increase in 2021, and prior to that, it had been a number of years since we had raised the maintenance fees. We do appreciate the fact that you are so faithful in paying your maintenance fees, and Chuck just wanted everybody to know how appreciative he is of the support in that regard. So after Chuck concluded, Dennis turned the floor over to Roger. Roger Denton is our board member that is the head of the construction committee. So Roger started with a little bit of a report about the exciting renovation that we are going to do to the first floor. And so he dove into that with some detail. We talked a little bit about the fact that we are only doing the first floor. We have decided not to do the penthouse this year because we wanted to focus on the first floor. The first floor could be a little troubling for us because there may be some surprises underneath the floor where the water lines run, and so that was some of the reason that we chose to kind of pause on the 9th floor and take a little bit of time and then focus on only the first floor. So Roger gave us the details on the first floor and also the renovations to the pool area that will be made. He is the expert in this area. So if you have questions about the renovation, I would definitely recommend that you seek out Roger Denton to answer those questions. After Roger came Sandra. Sandra's our vice president, and Sandra is, in her words, a jack of all trades. Sandra does a lot of different things on the board, and one of the things that she focuses on is special projects. If Dennis needs her to do some research, she works on special projects for Dennis. She also sits on a number of committees. So she is on the restaurant committee, she's also on the construction committee and the finance committee. So she has her finger on the pulse of a lot of different areas of the community. So that's a little bit about Sandra. Following that, I took the floor. So I am the newest member to the board. I am 14 months into my first term serving on the board. And honestly, I have had so much fun getting to know the board members. It has been a year of learning for me. I've been coming to Lindo Mar for 30 years, and I thought I knew an awful lot about Lindo Mar and what goes on. But I learned that once I got on the board that I do still have a lot to learn. So I spent most of my first year learning. I did participate with the activities committee. Ulysses and I have worked together on some of the things for the members, different activities and that type of thing. I'm not going to steal his thunder because he's going to share some things later on. And The other thing that I work on is communications. It's very important to me that everyone has a good flow of communications. Kind of like this video, I want everybody to know what's going on with our organization, and this is just one way that we can share information. One of the other things that the board has talked about this year, we have a section on our website where we can share, you can contact your board. And so if you go into the owner's corner, you can leave a message with the board in that regard. Those emails will now come directly to the board secretary. So in this case, it's going to be me for now, as long as I'm the board secretary. It also goes to trading places, so we can have that information quickly, and I'll be able to review and respond to that information. So those are some of the things that I've been working on for the last year. After I concluded my portion of the owners meeting, Ulises stepped in and gave an update on his area. Ulises is our new general manager, and I just have to say he has done a fabulous job in the last year. Understanding and learning the culture of Lindo Mar, taking things a day at a time, and engaging with the owners, the members, and also the staff. He has been just such an asset through this tough time of managing costs. He has some tremendous ideas when it comes to rentals and increasing our revenues. He shared a wide variety of different things that he's doing within the organization. And when you are here, I would definitely encourage you to sit down with Ulises and ask him what he's doing and what's new in his world, because he will be more than happy to share with you what's going on at Lindo Mar. One of the things specifically that I want to give a shout out to him and the entire team at Lindo Mar is for the work they did in preparation for the hurricane. The board arrived here starting Saturday, some arrived on Monday. I got here just as they were finishing up the preparations late in the afternoon for the hurricane that was going to be hitting on Sunday morning. And I have to say, they had everything handled. They had lots of people on board managing different aspects of preparations, and they stayed during the night. There was a number of different staff members from Ulises and the maintenance people, and I can't even speak to all of them, but they stayed overnight to make sure that we were safe here at Lindo Mar. And so my hat goes off to Ulises and the entire team of people here at Lindo Mar that took care of all of us during that hurricane. So then we wrapped up with Dennis, and he just wrapped up the meeting by way of sharing his heart for Lindo Mar and his appreciation for the owners that continue to support the board with their positive comments, and also through the paying of maintenance fees. He appreciates so much, and we all do, the fact that you come here and you stay and you pay your maintenance fees and you eat in the restaurant and you tip the staff and you show your appreciation in so many ways. And so that is kind of a recap of what the week looked like for us. We had many meetings. We toured the penthouse, and we've had some discussions on what that final phase of renovation will look like. As your board, we appreciate all of you. We all have a heart for Lindo Mar. We love the work that we do and the service that we can give you. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to seeing you soon at Lindo Mar.